Hello, I'm James Bond Cull here, and today I'm going to explain why I hate the Mary Sue Ray character out of Star Wars the most, and why I can't relate to a character like her at all. And basically there's no character development in her at all. She's just perfect at everything. She was able to fly ships and everything. She was able to defeat Luke Skywalker in single combat in The Last Jedi, all to push their stupid agenda and make Luke Skywalker look like an idiot. What I'm trying to say is, look at, for example, James Bond. When it comes to James Bond, yeah, right? Yes, he's been quite lucky. Yes, he's good at a lot of things. But he's been tortured. He's been beat up. He's lost people he's cared about. And also, you know, when I watch a Bond movie and I see Bond in a situation, the only way he gets out that situation is only because of a gadget, or actually someone's came and helped him. But if Ray was in that situation, she'd be able to get out of there herself, she'd be perfect at everything, and basically she would be able to defeat the villains, no problem, and everyone she cares about would never die, because she'd be so perfect at everything. You know, and what I'm saying is that how can I relate to a character as crap as her? She's just rubbish. I don't understand that. You know, it's like, for example, Ripley out of Aliens. She had great character development, especially in Aliens, which I think is a pretty solid movie. But what I'm saying is, they didn't make Ripley this perfect woman to make men look like fucking idiots. When, like I was saying in other videos, everyone is equal. And I'd be raging too if, for example, there was a male character being perfect at everything, just like Ray is. I'd be raging about that too. I can't relate to a character like Ray who's just perfect at everything. I have not invested. I will not watch Star Wars Episode 9 because I don't care. I know what's going to happen. And do you know what I liked about Darth Sidious originally? Especially in the Clone Wars, in the 6th film saga, he was the top villain and no one really could defeat him, right? Yoda was able to defeat him, but Sidious kind of in a way defeated him with the Force, right? But in Star Wars Episode 9, the Mary Sue Ray is going to defeat the Emperor. Just because, you know, she's Ray, you know, she's perfect at everything, like Muller says. You know, how can I relate to a character like her when she's just so rubbish? You know, she's able to, I don't even believe at all for a second, oh, she'll be a Skywalker. Well, really, if she's a Skywalker, regardless, if she was a Skywalker properly, she still would have got training and she would have actually failed. You know, Anakin had plenty of training. He trained Ahsoka, Obi-Wan trained him, but he still failed. He still failed to keep his mum safe, and he still failed to actually keep Padme safe. You know? And she died of childbirth when he turned to the dark side. But what I'm trying to say is, you would never see that from Rey. She's just so perfect at everything. I don't know why people like her. You know? Like I was saying, if you look at James Bond, for example, see him in a tough situation, I'm like, Rey would get out of that, no problem. I just don't like, she is such, I just absolutely, honestly despise and hate her as a character. I didn't plan to despise her. You know, I just don't understand how people relate to a character like that. You know, like it was like also like Ahsoka out the Clone Wars, you know? She was relatable. Now, at first, she was quite arrogant, you know? She made accidents though, you know? Especially, she had all this banter with Anakin, had all these jokes together, and she made all these mistakes. And also, like, what I'm saying is, if you look at, like, for example, how she was in Season 1, and then look at how she is in Season 5, when they had the whole arc of her getting accused of blowing up the Jedi Temple when she was actually innocent, and it was actually Barriss Offee that was the real problem. What I'm trying to say is, it had great character development. She matured. She had more skills over time. You know, when it comes to Rey, she's just perfect at everything. You know, she is at the beginning, like what was it? What's Anti-Logic, the channel, right? They were doing why the Force Awakens shouldn't be canon, and I understand that. Look at how Rey is just able to do all these fantastic things, and it was especially in that Mauler video when Finn was like to her, "What? How did you do that?" And she's like, "I don't know." I'm like, Really, how do you not know? You were just able to fly the Millennium Falcon even better than Han Solo, you know? It's same. The Force doesn't just give people fancy actual, fancy powers. Anakin, in a way, developed over time how to fly a ship. It wasn't just perfect at everything, you know. Luke only was able to destroy the Death Star, like they were saying in other videos. They only destroyed the Death Star only because Han Solo came back and saved actual Luke. If Luke never got saved by Han, Luke would have been killed by Darth Vader, and the Death Star would never have been destroyed. Luke Skywalker, in the first two movies, at least in the original trilogy, he did nothing but fail. But yes, he succeeded, and he got better and better and better. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, look at Rey. She's just perfect at everything. Honestly, I just despise looking at her. And actually, like I said, I have no need. What I'm saying is, I have no real reason to watch Star Wars Episode 9. Because I just don't care. I know she'll succeed because she succeeded in the last two movies. Yeah, Luke destroyed the Death Star, but he didn't become a full Jedi Gary Stu like Rey is with a Mary Sue. You know? I'm just saying, the Mary Sue is just a character who's just perfect at everything, with no flaws at all. And like I was saying about James Bond, yeah, maybe defeats the villain at the end of the movie, but for example, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, for an example, he maybe defeated Blofeld. He got married to his wife Tracy, and then his wife got shot down right in front of him. That would never happen to Rey. You know, if she defeated the main villain, and then she got married, or if she was a lesbian, I don't know, but if she got married, and then she was driving past, no one would be able to kill her husband because she's just perfect at everything. I don't know. I don't know why people relate to her. She's just so crap. Honestly, maybe she could use a bloody staff, but that's different from a lightsaber, you know? And do you know what really got on my nerves? She gets given the Anakin lightsaber, not the Luke Skywalker lightsaber, the Anakin lightsaber, because it's not like Harry Potter. You don't disarm someone's wand. You don't disarm a lightsaber off someone and then it calls to someone else. It doesn't happen that way. It was Anakin's lightsaber because Anakin made it. It was his. What right does it give Rey to take it? And also, I don't understand in The Force Awakens. How does lightsabers call to people now? She has this stupid mushroom trip that gives her no answers. You know, they go and think, oh, look, Rey's going to be the new saviour of the galaxy and they're going to make her the new chosen one. What I'm saying is, the prophecy with Anakin was fulfilled at the end of Return of the Jedi. You know, he destroyed the Sith, which was himself and Darth Sidious. But I'm saying, also, for example, in Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker was electrocuted with the Force lightning by the Emperor. Would that happen to Rey? Of course it wouldn't. You know, she'll defeat the Emperor, no problem. Just to push their stupid politics and their agenda into Star Wars, because that's all they care about. Disney Star Wars, that's all they care about, making women look good, when everyone's equal. But what I'm saying about Rey, she's just so undefeatable and so perfect at everything that why would someone like her? You know? Honestly, I have no idea how she's able to do half of the stuff that she's doing. She was even able to bloody, go away from that stupid force torture thing that Kylo Ren was trying to do on her. She was able to block away from that. That just doesn't make sense, you know? Like for example, it was like in the Clone Wars, they had the bounty hunter Cad Bane. Yes, he was able to block off one Jedi doing the Jedi mind tricks. He was saying, Jedi mind tricks don't work on me. But when all four Jedi... Well, it was three actually. It was Mace, Windu, Anakin and Obi-Wan. And then Cad Bane gave up. But when it comes to Rey, you would never see that. You know, you'd never see her fail in any way. You know, and also it really got my nerves, especially as in The Force Awakens, when she goes, she just not randomly gets knocked out, and she was stupid at The Force Awakens. There wasn't even a proper decent lightsaber battle. Look at how the lightsaber battles were, especially in Revenge of the Sith, and then go and watch The Force Awakens and how crap and basic they all are. But at least in Revenge of the Sith, the final fight was basically two Sith Lords fighting two Jedi. So Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan, and Master Yoda versus Darth Sidious. But when it comes to The Force Awakens, you've got a complete utter oaf called Kylo Ren. He was a complete utter idiot. And then you've got a Mary Sue Ray who was able to use the Force to get a lightsaber, take it out of the snow, just copying The Empire Strikes Back with no training at all. She just defeated Kylo Ren, who's been trained for years. You know, she just defeated Kylo Ren just by closing her eyes. That just doesn't make sense. Like, for example, when Obi-Wan fought Darth Vader, and yeah, he fought Darth Vader in Revenge of the Sith, not Anakin. So he fought Darth Vader. Obi-Wan only won because he had the high ground, right? It's not because he closed his eyes and then defeated Darth Vader that way. Darth Vader was too foolish and he jumped up to the thing, and then Obi-Wan actually chopped his limbs off, right? The rest of them, his other arm and his 2 legs. But what I'm trying to say, that would never happen with Rey. And what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to the Force Awakens lightsaber battle especially, Rey just closed her eyes and then defeated Kylo Ren. And I don't understand how people like Kylo Ren as well. He was a complete utter idiot, screaming out traitor like a 5-year-old. You think Anakin's bad in Attack of the Clones? Well, he's even worse. You know, when you peed off Darth Vader, he didn't slash a lightsaber across a wall and have basically a tantrum. You know, if you peed off Darth Vader, you would get force choked for it and he would kill you. But what I'm trying to say, right, to get back to Rey, what I'm saying is, with Rey, I don't know how she's just so perfect at everything, you know? She's able to just defeat all these villains and everything with no training at all, you know? For example, it was like she was able to defeat all these people on this desert planet and all that, on the Jakku thing, even though The Force Awakens is just a redo of A New Hope. But the difference is, in A New Hope, Luke got defeated by sand people and Obi-Wan came and gave him a hand. But when it comes to Rey, she's able to defeat everyone because, you know, Kathleen Kennedy, all she wants to do is make women better than men, where actually everyone is equal. But I'm saying, as well, see if there's a male character exactly the same as her, which is a Gary Stu. If a guy, I'm saying, just to say, if there was a guy exactly like Rey, I would still despise him, and I would hate the character still. So if there was a guy that was perfect at everything, took over Han's place in the Millennium Falcon and took over Luke's place, would I still be raging about it? Of course I would. It's not because I'm intimidated by a woman. It's not because I'm sexist. It's the fact is, she's a crap character. She's an absolute shit character. You know? I don't understand why people like her. You know? How can we relate to a character who's just so perfect at everything? You know? Like I was saying, Luke Skywalker, for the first 2 movies, got help from several people. You know, he didn't just defeat the Wampa by himself. Well, yeah, in a way he did. But I'm saying he only got taken by the Wampa because the Wampa snuck up right behind him and then knocked Luke down and then tried to eat him for breakfast or something, right? But what I'm saying is Luke had the Force because he had training, unlike Rey. You know, he had training to go and use the Force and stuff. Yeah, it was quite limited, and he learned more when he went to Dagobah to meet Yoda. But the difference is with Luke, he still had challenges, right? But he still had challenges properly in The Empire Strikes Back, you know? He was like to Yoda, you're asking for the impossible, and then Yoda proves that he was wrong, you know? But when it comes to Rey, she'd be able to lift a whole mountain easily with the Force without any training at all. And honestly, I just hate that. The thing that makes me hate her the most is that the characters that we all love and know, the people that people really like, all the attention is focused on Rey. Like I was saying, they just killed off Han Solo and she's just the new pilot with Chewbacca on the Millennium Falcon. What gives her the right to take over the Millennium Falcon? Especially, she made even in The Force Awakens, she was like, I bypassed the compressor. I was like, oh, shut up. And like Mauler was saying, when she was like that, he was saying, oh, shut up, you angelic creature. Your characteristics are as bland as your fucking clothing. And he's damn right on that. He is damn right on that. Because she is just so crap as a character. At least Luke Skywalker had training, and Anakin was only able to use a pod racer, for example, because his reflexes, because, you know, in a way he was a bit like Force Jesus, but he still needed training. But I'm saying, if you look at, for example, later on, like when he was a Jedi Padawan, yes, he was skilled with a lightsaber and the Force. He tried to go to Tatooine, and he tried to save his mum, but he still failed. If it was Rey in Attack of the Clones, she would find her mum easily and actually, you know, be absolute perfect at everything. She would never have failed. Maybe she would have slaughtered the entire group, but she would have saved her mum, no problem. And stuff like that. And she wouldn't have had that stupid tantrum that Anakin had. Now, I understand about the prequels, but I'd actually say Kylo Ren's even worse. And Jar Jar Binks, I agree, he is an annoying character. You think he's bad in The Phantom Menace, he's even worse in the Clone Wars. But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to, for me now, I hate and despise Rey the most, because she's just perfect at everything. She's taken completely over my characters that I loved and liked as a kid. Luke Skywalker used to be my idol, but they just turned him into an idiot that had no hope at all, just to make Rey look good, because that's all they cared about, their stupid agenda. All they care about is pushing an agenda and making women better than men, when, like I was saying, everyone is actual equal. And you know what was actual good about the Clone Wars? There was even episodes with female Jedi. And guess what? They were still relatable. They still had the same kind of training that male characters would have. You know? They weren't perfect. You know? So there can be female Jedi. They just can't be perfect at everything like Rey is. You know? I have no problem if there was a female Jedi. You know, I'd have no problem if Rey was like Luke's daughter and she failed at things and Luke never gave up and things went downhill in the second movie, and then Luke, and I wouldn't even call her Rey. I don't even know what Luke's daughter would be called. But I'm saying I wouldn't call her Rey. And see, the thing is, if I read the sequel trilogy, all the new characters wouldn't exist. Not Rey, not Poe, not Finn, not Rose, not that Amilyn Holdo, none of them. They would exist. I'd focus on nothing but actually focusing on the actual characters that all Star Wars fans at least love and respect and relate to. You know, and like I said, you know, I just don't understand why she's just so perfect at everything. You know, I'll never relate to her and I'll never like her. I honestly completely despise her. And like I was saying, when you watch a Bond movie, you're just like, when you see Bond in a tough situation, you're just like, Rey would get out of that no problem. And the thing about Bond, in a way, he's a bit like me, but that's private. But what I'm saying is that, you know, James Bond, for example, yeah, he's good at a lot of stuff, but he was trained in the Navy and stuff. He got trained from the Navy and the British Secret Service to kill bad guys, and he probably done driving lessons, taught how to do a plane and a helicopter and stuff like that. He didn't just magically appear with all those gifts. You know, he wasn't just perfect at everything. For example, like Casino Royale, right? And I said in another video that it's not a reboot, but I'm saying Bond was brilliant. He was physically fit. He was able to defeat all the bad guys that went, but he lost the person he loved. That wouldn't happen to Rey. And like I said, I can't relate to a character who's just so perfect at everything. I don't understand why people like her. You know, she's just not relatable. Now, thanks for watching. See you later. Hopefully you could try. Please come and subscribe. And put a comment in the bottom, and hopefully you can give me a like. Now, thanks for watching and see you later.